Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing today? How are you doing? I hope you're doing good because I am doing amazing. Today I want to talk about invention because growing up, I thought everything was created by white people. Once again, we weren't taught anything about ourselves growing up. So obviously, everything we thought about or everything we had in our possession was that was technological or that was and that was good or that was basically everything good came from the white man growing up. Point blank period. That's what our parents taught us, that's what our teachers taught us. you know we didn't know anything about ourselves, and I'm not blaming our parents because neither did they. Through years and years of colonization, and prior to that, years and years of destruction and war. Because most people think, oh, we were just there in Africa and people just came and just took a bunch of people away. No, there's several wars that went on to stop the destruction of, or to stop the invasion. So we had this term, which is in Hausa, which is the language that I speak. That's my grandma's language. So it goes like one shape ture. Basically, what that means is there's some things that are created just by the white man, meaning everything that is created, or everything that is good or invented is invented by the white man. So that was the notion. That's why everyone said, oh, so if we see like a nice sneakers, we're like, oh damn, we can't do this. Some things are just left for the white man to do. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing we really invented everything. But then again, that's where the notion of miseducation and diseducation, and that's the education system we grew up in, basically not teaching us anything about ourselves. All we got to do is just find X. you know Find X. That's pretty much it, but nothing about ourselves. So we grew up with the notion of the white man as superior, to us. And even though that wasn't like talked about, that was basically the notion, subconsciously. So when you see a white person, you're quick to try to conversate, or you see him as a highly person. But this comes with the diseducation and the miseducation of our children. That's why we have to change this. We can't teach the same thing to our children. That's why we're in the situation we're in today. We know nothing about ourselves. How are we gonna do anything to benefit ourselves? You know what I'm saying? If you grow up thinking you ain't shit, that's exactly what's gonna happen. And your outcome is gonna be ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So we need to change that, and which is why I'm inspired by Dr. Umar. My vision is to build a school that teaches us, that teaches our children all over the world, black children all over the world, our history, and you could read more on that. I'll put that in the description. But anyways, today I want to talk about invention, because the notion of white people invented everything is completely wrong. It's actually the opposite. We invented everything, from your map to your clock to your calendar to your potato chips. You know what I'm saying? We invented it, and it would have been crazy to think about that when I was a child. But now, with everything that I have learned, or everything that I have come across, is not is honestly not far fetched, and there's so much proof to that, and there's evidence to that. All you have to do is just hit Google. Honestly, that's pretty much it. So today we're gonna talk about how black people invented everything. That's pretty much, I guess that's the topic. So, so if you've ever thought about, or if you've ever had potato chips and you're wondering who invented this thing, who came up with this thing, well, do yourself a favor, Google George Crum. Okay, George Crum invented the potato chips in 1853. And 1853 wasn't so good for us black people. You know what I'm saying? But even with everything we have going on for us, we still found a way to persevere. We still found a way to create, because that's what we're good at, creating. You know what I'm saying? No one is good at creating like we are. So George Crum invented the potato chips. If if you've ever used a GPS, if you've ever used the Google GPS, Waze, whatever, well, guess who invented that? It's Queen Mother Gladys West. She actually came up with that. Queen Mother Gladys West invented any navigation system or software you can think of. The Google Map, the Waze, and whatnot. She invented that. You know what I'm saying? And she was actually she was actually a mathematician, who basically came up with the GPS, people. So you have her to thank for that. If you've ever used the GPS, that's her. Now the person that invented the microphone I'm actually using today, and the microphone you use every day when you use your phone, or when you use the microphone, or whatever device you can think of that speaks to you, or you can speak through. Guess who invented that? A black man did that. Yep, a black man did that. James West. A black man did that. You know what I'm saying? And he holds over 250 foreign and U.S. patents for production and design of microphones and techniques for creating polyfoil electrates. Polyfoil electrates. It's in your phones, it's in your it's in your cars. When your car speaks to you, it's speaking through the polyfoil electrate. When Alexa talks to you, she's using that. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking on your phone and someone is hearing it out of the other, you're using that. So without him, this invention wouldn't have been possible. Once again, we don't have to talk about what happened in the past. We can talk about what's happening right now. As I said, we invented everything, literally everything. But some people like to tell us we contributed none to civilization. I told you in the past video, we civilized the world 3 times over. 1, 2, 3 times over. No one civilized us, and no one gave us God. We gave everybody what they have today. Everyone came from us as the original people, and you can't copy the original. You see what I'm saying? So this is just to let you know that you're not what society tells you you are. The only thing is, you just don't know who you are. You don't know how powerful you are. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta start taking upon ourselves to know who we are. So now we have you ever thought who invented the internet? I always say the internet was an invention to help emancipate the black man. Why? Because the internet shows everything. Well, not everything, but it shows everything that is going on in today's world, and it doesn't hide any information if you look deeper. You know what I'm saying? And most of this information are put there by other people, but those information can be authenticated. You know, not everything on the internet is true, obviously, but you can find the real thing too on the internet. And I always say the internet was another revolutionary form for us to emancipate ourselves. You know, I feel like the internet was sent to us as black people to inform ourselves in order to emancipate from mental slavery, which we're doing today. You know, basically all I'm doing today is I'm showing you that you are more than what society tells you you are. You're more than what these people tell you you are. Because they tell you you are nobody. Why? Because they degraded you to that level. You know, you went to their schools, you eat their food, you wear their clothes, you pray to their God. You know, so we're still stuck mentally. Mentally, we're still, well, some of us are still slaves. You know, so this, the internet basically helps to emancipate, and it's gonna play a major role in the development and emancipation of our people. And why do I say this? Because the internet was built by another black brother called Philip Emeagwali, the father of the internet. If anyone tells you a white man created the internet, it's a goddamn liar. That person is a liar. This person did not only build the internet, they built the world's fastest computer, the supercomputer. You know, so I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to tell you we invented everything. You know, if we invented math, physics, and everything you're using today, we invented it. Philip Emeagwali, don't forget that name, and he's still alive. Most people seem to think he's dead, but he's not dead. He's still alive up till this day. So look him up. Look him up. He has a lot to say too. I'm surprised a lot of people don't really check him out, because this guy should be bigger than Bill Gates. This guy should be bigger than Mike Zuckerberg, or whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? Like, our inventors are never being elevated. You know, and that's partially our fault, because we don't even take the time to actually look for these people. So, make sure you look him up. Really do. Benjamin Banneker. Now, he was a self-taught engineer. He was the dude that created the first American clock. Another black man. At 15 years old, this dude basically invented an irrigation system for his parents' farm. At 15 years old, and he taught himself, which is like most of the black people, most of the black inventors taught themselves. You know, so it's like, I'm telling you, we have the knowledge. We've been blessed to be black. You're blessed to be black. That's why when I see people bleaching themselves, I'm like, yo, you don't even deserve it. You know, but then again, I feel sad because most of the people that do this do not have the information they need. Because think about it, most of the things we do is based on the information we have. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, moving on. If you love playing video games, you should thank Jerry Lawson for that. Jerry Lawson actually invented the first video game, console and car trade. Now, for you young, for the young kids that don't know what a cartridge is, it's basically this big thing that's basically downloaded that's basically programmed with the game. So if you ever played Sega, You just need the cartridge. You put that in there, and you're playing Sega, you know. And it's basically like a CD, basically, or like a USB. But back in the days, that's what a cartridge is. So if you love games, you have him to thank for that. You ever thought about who invented the map? Who invented the calendar, the 365 calendar? We invented that, but that's more so Asian inventions. So I'm gonna talk about that in a separate video about the ancient inventions of the black man. You ever thought about who invented, the computer or the personal PC? Dr. Mark Dean. Dr. Mark Dean invented the personal PC. He used to work for, well, I don't know if he's still, well, he's co-owner of IBM now. So he was basically the dude that invented the personal computer, or basically the computer for dummies. Basically, anyone can go break the computer, basically. That's what he invented. The PC we're using today that actually came from him, so that's what a PC is. That's basically a computer for dummies, which is us, the average person, so he invented that, and he holds the patents of over 20 patents in the IBM and the invention of creating the personal PC. Those of you who don't know what a patent is, it's basically a license to show that, to give credit to you and to help prevent other people from duplicating your creation. That's what a patent is. Okay, moving on. Henry Thomas Simpson. All right. If you ever thought about where your cell phone came from, you have him to thank for that. He created. He was basically a nuclear physician and an inventor. He basically invented the first gamma electric cell. So you ever seen those huge cell phones? One of those, the first ever cell phones, he invented that. So through that, now we have the smartphone. And I'm gonna talk to you about the smartphone too, because another black guy invented the smartphone. Alright fam, definitely thanks for out. If you liked it, like, share, and subscribe. Also definitely check out what we have going on, the project going on. We're building a school in Africa, in Ghana, which will basically unite all our kids from the diaspora, black kids all over the world, under one umbrella, on the motherland, to teach our kids the African way, the African mindset. It's high time we broke away from this Western mindset. Time we stop talking about it and start doing something about it. So definitely like, share, and donate. Also definitely check out my website. It features men's, women's, kids accessories, everything you're looking for. That is basically the Afro drip. Definitely check the website. It's time we started representing accessories where it is. Some of the products here, others are imported. Others are imported. The goal is to make our products in Africa, for us, by us. But until then, we don't mind partnering up until we're able to stand on 10 toes. So definitely check it out. Also, every cent we make from the YouTube channel, will go towards the donation, and 45% of the income we make from our website, from our clothing line, goes towards building the school. So this is definitely a high priority. So definitely read up on this and donate, and share. Peace, love, and prosperity.